thought I would do video instead of going live, so this way I can share it on all of my platforms. I'm cooking. I'm going to make a little everything in the pot sauce. It's raining cats and dogs here in St. Louis, Missouri. I was going to run up on the hill today and go get some really good sausage and do some running around, but it's raining cats and dogs and I couldn't do that. I was going to go get some good produce from my favorite place in Webster. I ended up laying down on the couch for 2 hours and slept, which I never do. Between the rain and the humidity, it's just kind of messed with my system. So I kind of feel like I need to make something to give me a little bit more energy. And with video, I can just do video and not have to worry about any comments. I'm Kitryn Marie, reside in St. Louis, Missouri. I'm an artist, writer, speaker, life and business coach. Teach a variety of art and communication classes. Have a published book, When He Had Her, available on Amazon. What are you making for supper? What are you going to have? What's your go-to when you are feeling really, really run down? I have some peppers and some squash that are so overripe, and I have some spinach, and I've got a little bit of cabbage, and then I have, what is this? And this is all from Aldi, other than my produce. I got these from Rogers Produce. But mostly everything else I've gotten from Aldi's. Ground beef was $13.43. You know, ground beef used to be the cheapest thing you can get, and now it's one of the most expensive things. Although every great once in a while I will buy a steak of some sort and slice it or cube it up for a good stew or a beef bourbon. But anyway, how many pounds was this? This was a little over 2 pounds, 2.36 pounds. It was $5.69, a pound, which relatively that would be like cheap, but really it's not. But anyway, so I'm just really run down today, and it's got to be the weather. It's got to be weather, so I thought I'd bring you along a little bit. Let's see how far I can do this. I'm running out of room on my phone. Need to go buy a new phone, but it's like, when you're not making any money, you got to do what you can with what you have to work with. So I've got red peppers. I'm out of olive oil, so we are just going to use some regular vegetable oil to get everything sauteed really good. And I would use my blender usually, and so I would roast everything in the oven, let it get nice and toasty, and then usually I blend it all up, and then I add it to my sauce. But my blender's got margarita mix in it, so we can't do that today. I made a mango margarita, frozen margarita, last Friday, and I just had like one glass, honestly, one glass, and I was like, this is really good, but all of a sudden now I'm not in the mood for it. Do you get like that? Nothing tastes good? You're like, you want it, but then once you have it, it don't taste good. Okay, so I got and you're not on a tripod or anything, so I can kind of move you around. Don't know if it's going to work or not. Turn that on. I've got the dogs running around. This back burner, I turn it on and it goes, whoa. Okay, got that going. All right, so let's dice up some vegetables and let's talk. How was your day? It's Monday. I just slice the top of these off, and then I slice it in half. And I was going to use my other knife, but it needs to be sharpened, and I don't have the patience right now to sharpen it. And then we're just going to kind of clean out all the inside yuck, throw it out to my possum or my raccoon that I feed out there. But Monday, rainy days and Mondays always get you down. What, Francis? That was a nice little bark. Anyway, do you remember who sang that? Karen Carpenter. Rainy days and Mondays always get you down. Today was just, I was glad for the rain. You know, I'm one of those people. We needed this rain. If I had a porch and a rocking chair, I'd be sitting outside watching the storm. But we did. We needed this rain, and my garden looks beautiful out there. I still have some more things to plant, but I ran out of energy yesterday. I weed-eated my whole backyard. Told the kid, oh, here's a double pepper. I love when there's a double pepper. I'll show you. I tell my kid, oh, see the inside? It's a double pepper. I tell my kid, put the air conditioners in the window. Isn't that nice? Those are God's blessings when you get double fruit. So I had weed-eated the whole backyard. I had, the day before, planted and then put 8 bags of mulch down. By last night, I could not move at all. You know, beyond like arthritis is kicking in, it was a matter of, I'm done. I can't do any more. And then I had to go meet the kid because he's buying a house. What a cute little house. Oh my gosh. I hope everything goes well for him. It is so well deserved. My oldest, he's had some work struggles, and with the world that we are living in now, this will be his first house, and 2-bedroom, somewhat of a finished basement, very doable. He's very artsy like me. Works in the physical therapy department for one of our hospitals, massage therapist. He's a personal trainer. And back when he was in competitions, he's won every single one of his categories. He's just a different kind of kid. 41 years old, not married, good looking kid. And he's letting his hair all grow out so he can get it cut to give for, locks of love. So I'm not used to seeing him with longer hair. So it's funny. And he's all tatted up, which I don't care about any of that, but if it makes him happy. But so he wanted to know my thought on the house. It's a go in my mind. It's got an apple tree in the backyard with apples already on it. Hello. Apple pie galore, applesauce, apple cider, apple jam. I said, Jason, we'll be set for life with those apples. Anyway, so I'm hoping. He's got to get a bunch of inspections and things like that. You know, I think about, and I get offers on my house, my shoebox I live in. It would be an as is. If you look up to the ceiling, the AC handler leaked, because that's where the air conditioner is up in there, and it went from cold to hot to hot to cold, and the whole ceiling peeled. This ceiling, it doesn't leak other than the AC handler is rusted out, and besides, the AC unit outside doesn't work anyway. Low on Freon. But this house in itself is 974 square foot. It's 2-bedroom. It is 1 full bath, some makeshift toilet downstairs. Basement doesn't leak, but it's got that, what do they call it, hydroponic static, where when it rains there's cracks that come up and then from all the moisture. And however the ground settles and works when, it rains. And then I set the lowest in the neighborhood, so when it rains, I get all the rain runoff. As is what I would sell my house. I'd like $189,000 for it, as is. And I think I could get it. I keep getting, investors that are like, I want to buy your house, I want to buy your house. Well, that'd be all fine and good, but then where in the hell am I going? especially with my income right now with the restaurant. What an absolute joke. Okay, do that there. It's enough for me to, you know, make all my payments and do the things that I need to do responsibly. Now I got some squash. You don't really need to take the seeds or anything out because you can't hardly ever, you know. I'm just going to dice this up and throw that in there. Probably should turn that down. I'll salt, pepper, garlic it. Anyway, I guess at this point the goal is a lake house, but not like in a community, excuse me, an HOA. Forget that. I piss everybody off with all my animals. I want something rural. Something on about 2-3 acres. Honestly, I still want a 2,800 square foot house. I do. I deserve, and I don't use that word very often. I want a big porch of some sort, front and back. I want to be able to look out into my couple acres and see my garden I've put in and all my animals. Have you seen the gal over on TikTok who has a camel who thinks it's a horse? That would be so me. And then there's another one. This one was Shammy the camel. The other one I like is Carl the camel. All about my animals. But I think I do. I want a lake house. Somewhere where I can have my little, you know, farm stand. Make my sauces and sell it. Been saving all my jars. Grow some produce. Sell some tomatoes. I'm excited about my eggplant that I got growing. I hope it all works out. And my snap peas. Don't know what I'm going to do with all them snap peas. I got enough vines out there. I think I could probably take care of the whole neighborhood. Alright, I got that. But, you know, I still have goals. I still have dreams. I'm just not real sure at this point how it's all going to happen. You know, I was thinking today, every little craft and art project I have done, or anything that I teach, or anything I try to do, it has to have purpose. If it has no purpose, there's no reason for me to attempt it. And I think your mind kind of gets really, really tired after a while from thinking, okay, how am I going to survive? How am I going to live? How am I going to do this? You know, your brain just at some point like has to turn off. And I've been sleeping good. It's not that. It's not that at all. Gotta get a good wooden spoon. You need a good wooden spoon. And I promise you this is clean. Like I said, we're just going to throw everything in the pot. We're going to get it nice and soft and simmered. And we're going to throw it in our sauce. But before I, you know, do up the hamburger, I got to get these all done. I had a little bit of cabbage left. I used to have nightmares about cabbage. My daughter, the logical one, and I think this is most mothers and daughters, we only get along for a certain point, and then we don't get along. I think she's more like me than she really wants to admit. Although she's the very logical side of life, and everything with me is whimsy and magic, and why not? But anyway, I used to have these reoccurring dreams. She was going to put me in a nursing home, and the nursing home only fed me cabbage. Only to come to find out that cabbage is actually a prebiotic that you need for your digestive system. So every great once in a while, I will get a head of cabbage and I will make peppers and sausage and cabbage. Or I will make a little salad. I sees you down there, pretty girl. Or I'll make a salad and throw just a little bit of cabbage in it. It's hard to find red cabbage though. That's what I would prefer to have. My dad loved that. He used to also make a wilted salad with bacon, vinegar, and cabbage. Or if I make tacos, instead of using lettuce, I'll use a little bit of cabbage. Just that much. Throw that in there. Like I said, it's just really run down today. You know, I work in that restaurant 3 days a week, which most people would say 3 days is nothing. But those 3 days, the physical part of that, it takes me 2 days to recover from it. It shouldn't be like that. We're short-handed. Customers are off their rocker. Carrying that tray. I have no business carrying a tray at this age. Okay. Anyway, the 3 days I work there, it takes me 2 days to recover. So my routine typically is Friday, I will do any little bit of running that I need to do because the 3 days that I go to work, I come home, I don't leave my house. Rarely at this point am I leaving my house for anything. I don't want this one. I want this one. I'll go to the grocery store. I'll run over to, Play-Dohs if I have money, or go pick up, stuff from Walgreens or run to Marshall's. Friday this week I went to Walmart for my mulch, and then I went over to Lowe for the plants. So that's my Friday. Saturday, weather depending, I work in my yard. I tend to my garden like Mary, quite contrary. And then I cook. I still have one kid at home. He's 25. I try to cook. I did barbecue Saturday. I grilled. I might add a little more oil to it. Get that nice and wilted down. Can you hear it? You want to see it? You want to see it? Look at that. Can you see? Nice and colorful and pretty. So that's Saturday. I work in the yard. I cook. I grill. I'm in my dress era, so I get myself all showered up and I throw a dress on. Pretend like I live in my lake house. Although a couple of my dresses, I've made the running joke, I need to live in a retirement center in Florida, and I go sit on the veranda and drink my coffee or a martini if I was a martini drinker. Might need to add a little water to that. Got that going. I started to open up my sauce. Got some great value. I might have picked these. Tyler, the youngest, might have picked these up. He's been going to the grocery store. He's so funny. My kids are all so different. The youngest, you'd never even know he was in the room. Unlike the older two, they banter off each other. But on Sunday, usually he says, I'm going to the grocery store, and then he goes and he picks up stuff that he wants, and then he buys extra for me. Anyway, so then on Sunday, I cut grass with the weed eater. I told him, I said, I can't keep doing this. We got to figure out the lawnmower situation. Got a couple more travel magazines. Milwaukee and the Outer Banks. I'll show you real quick. Outer Banks, because you know that other book I'm writing, Seaside Shore, she ends up in the Outer Banks in a town called Seaside. You know, I got that. And then I got that on Milwaukee. Don't know why. Probably will never get back to Wisconsin. But it's there. Although I do want to go to the Great Lakes. I do need to go to the Great Lakes. I've got a list of places I still want to go visit, just it's not feasible right now. Kind of working on all this content stuff. What did I sign up for today? SideShift. It's an app for content creators. Saw a couple cooking things on there. Did I have the conversation with you about if you take your resume and you upload it to ChatGPT or Claude or whomever it is that you use in the AI world, it will pull up all of the jobs available that match your skill set? Trying to get into the farmer's market realm. They're not doing any hiring. I had sent a resume off, made a couple different contacts with the Missouri Farm Association. They had a job listing that would have been perfect. Come to find out, they never took the listing down. It didn't have exactly a year like when the job ended. So there was a false ad for a job that was filled a year ago. The gal says, well, I don't know where you saw this from, but we hired for that position a year ago. And I'm like, well, go take it down. That's false hope. And I still got to work. Oh my God, you would think I would get out the can opener, but why would I do that? Is this going to work? Oh. Who came up with these things? I told the kid a couple weeks ago, I'll buy a new toaster. Then I'm like, well, if I'm going to buy a new toaster, I might as well buy a new coffee pot. And then if I buy a new coffee pot, what else did I need? Oh, a new can opener. Is this going to work? Oh, thank the heavens. Okay, so with my sauce, it's my secret. Crushed tomatoes, not the sauce. 2 cans of this, 1 can of petite diced. I don't use paste. Never have used paste. I'm going to take this. What did I make last week? I made shrimp Alfredo. That was yummy. In fact, I've got just a little bit left that I think I'm going to put it in the dog's food. Give them a little treat tonight. Except I bought the shrimp that had the tail and the skin on. Wasn't happy about that at all. Okay, I'm going to use a little more than half because I can use this other little bit for burgers later in the week, and because I want this really to be just more of a veggie kind of thing. Put a lid on that. Let me give this a wipe out real quick. I picked this up at a thrift store. I don't know what this iron is called, but it makes the best sauce. Okay, I'm going to take... Still using my orange soap, too. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Towel. Use this one. Turn this on. back one down, turn this one up. Okay. No fancy outfit of the day today either. I was just like, I knew I wasn't going to do anything. Usually on Monday, because tomorrow I'll go back to work, I'll run. I usually run to the produce if I have to go to the bank. I do laundry. I've had so much laundry because I've not done anything all week long. I've been fighting with fur and dander all through my house. Gets on my nerves. Okay, we'll let that cook up a little bit. You want to really kind of get in here. I'll move you over so you can see what I'm doing. Let's move you over. I'll wash my hands again real quick. I got every apparatus charging. I say to the kid, the youngest, I'm like, where are all the adapters? He's like, I don't know. Okay, I've got that much hamburger left that I can make burgers in a day or two if I don't bring burger home tomorrow from work. We at the restaurant, we have smash burgers, like the original Steak and Shake. Okay, put that there. Let's put this over here. Like I said, I got the dogs all under my feet, all 4 of them. They about went through the door when the mail lady came. Poor woman. I know she dreads bringing mail here. Okay, I'm going to switch you. Hold on. Hold on. Let's take you over here. Like this. Move, Bougie. She's under my foot. Move, Bougie, go! Okay, so we're going to... And I don't drain the grease in my burger. Usually I get like the one that's pretty lean. Or at least I try to. And I will put probably almost 3/4 cup of sugar, maybe half a cup of sugar in to take some of the tang out. And I could make rice. I don't know. Or I could just make a pasta. And I do have some of my Italian bread that I had made a couple weeks, 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. I had that in the freezer. I could make a pizza bread with it. It's endless. Once you have sauce, it's endless. Okay, we're going to do that. Okay, now... I had some leftover spinach. You know, you buy your spinach and it sits in the bag and it gets really, really green. I'm just going to use a little bit of it. Not that much. Do you know that cooks all down? But again, when you are low in iron, you have no energy. It's your body telling you need something dark green in your diet. And we'll do a little more. Okay, that's that. I'll do the rest of that to the raccoon. We're going to cook that all down. I don't know what this week will be at work. It's always something. Drama, trauma, chaos, madness. We can't run down any more of a skeleton crew than what we already have. I've never in my life worked in an operation that runs the way that they do. And they think it's normal. I hate to tell them, it's not. See where we're at with this. Trying to do this so, you see that? Okay. I don't want to burn it, but it needs to cook down small. put a little white wine in it, but I don't think I will. Let that go down. Woo. Turn that down some more to a simmer. Get this going. Just want the spinach in here to get really leafy and wilted. Stem and all, it don't matter. It's not going to hurt you. Okay, so now, because I didn't have any sausage, gosh darn it, I was going to go up on the hill. I said that. I was going to get sausage. I needed some more cheese. And I always look at their cannolis. Okay, so I got oregano leaves. Oregano will kind of give your, if I had fennel, because that's what goes in the sausage, but I'm going to put pretty much of that in here. We measure with our heart. We're going to take some more of Erzie's Italian seasoning. That's where I go to get my sausage and cheese. I just love walking around in there. I just love it. They're so nice. You should follow them over on Facebook. Erzie's Market on the Hill. Here we got some garlic powder. And you know what? I need some fresh garlic. I'm out. Let's do some onion. Oh, I can hear it raining. It is just pouring rain. Okay, do that. That looks good. I always add the diced first. Oh my God, that smells wonderful. It smells so good. You don't know what you're missing. That's what I'm saying. I could sell my sauce in a farm stand. They'd be lined up down the road. At some point I'm going to learn how to make pasta, which isn't hard. If I can bake bread, I can make pasta. My grandma used to do it with my little grandma, my great-great-grandma. Okay, now we're going to add in the sauce. Oh. Francis, did I get you with some sauce? Okay, I'm going to add the other can of sauce. What would you like to cook with? I see Valerie Bertinelli has another cooking show, although the Food Network kind of canceled her, or didn't let her redo her show, so now she does it on her own channels. I don't blame her. I could do the same thing. But I'd love to cook with her. I'd love to cook with Kevin Costner. What does he like to cook? Okay. Alright, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn the back one off so it doesn't get too mushy. I'm going to let this cook. I need to go get the sugar, and I will put the sugar in. You want to see what it looks like, though? I'm so impressed. Look at that. Does that not look beautiful? Doesn't it? Hang on. Look at that. Bite. One bite. So I'm going to go get the sugar. I will put, like I said, almost 3/4 of a cup. Maybe not that much. But, oh my God, it smells wonderful. And then I got to figure out what I'm doing. Am I doing a pizza bread? Am I making pasta? Am I making rice? I will have enough for a long time. But hey, thanks for coming along on this, video. Content creating. You find a subject. You find matters that are important to you that you can talk about. Are you the expert in what you talk about? People want to be entertained. They want to be inspired. They want to, be educated. They want to know what life looks like on the other side, oftentimes of their miserable life. Let that cook. I'm going to turn the air conditioners up because now it's really humid here in the house. But thanks for following along. Greatly, greatly appreciated. Don't mind, the wrinkles and whatever else I got going on. But I'm Kitryn Marie, an artist, writer, speaker, life and a business coach, reside in St. Louis, Missouri, where it is pouring down. Teach a variety of art and communication classes. Have a published book, When He Had Her, working on my second book. Just, kind of hanging out tonight. Start the week tomorrow. And we'll see how it all goes. Be happy, be blessed, be thankful for everything. Remember, fate turns on a dime, and it is up to you to decide what side of the coin you want to be on. Reach out, kitrynmarie@gmail.com. Y'all take care. Make something good for you for supper tonight. Take care. I'll see you soon.